Hey guys, it's Bailey. What's up and welcome back to the channel for what's going to be an old school makeup haul, like from back in the early days of YouTube where you'd like go shopping, come home, sit down in front of a camera and just talk about what you got. In my last video, like yesterday's video, because in April I'm uploading every day, I purged some palettes because clearly I participated in the most recent 20% off sale Ulta just had, and I'm definitely planning on participating in the Sephora VIB sale coming up here soon. So I just wanted to make some room in my collection because there were definitely some eyeshadow palettes that just really didn't speak to me anymore. I didn't have any room for, and there was so much nostalgia there in that video for me because I got rid of some products that I have had since shortly after creating my channel here, and I just got to thinking about what YouTube was like back then. And while I really do love some of the new things about YouTube, like part of what got me into YouTube was Michelle Phan and the incredible things, like not just her makeup, but the way she would create videos and use effects and music to like tell a story through video. And I feel like that's only gotten better. But there are some things that have fallen by the wayside, like tutorials. And I get you can only do so many like neutral smoky eye tutorials, winged eyeliner tutorials, but there is just that like special place in my heart for where I first discovered YouTube and makeup on YouTube. And I got my order from my Ulta 20% off purchase, and I thought I would just sit down here and do one of those, like literally pulling it out of the packaging, unwrapping it, swatching it. I will say I'm not going too old school because I now have a better camera since I've had back in the day. This focuses on my face, so if I were to put my hand up and do like, you know, the swatchy type thing, it's gonna take forever to focus, it's gonna look awful, so I am gonna do like the side swipe things just to make sure you guys actually get to see what it is I'm talking about in good up close quality. But I have not touched any of these things. Most of these are new to me. Some of them are repurchased favorites that I keep coming back to, but for the most part, we're talking about some new makeup. So let's go ahead and dive in. But before we do, actually, I would love to hear what part of old YouTube do you miss the most? Like what makes you most nostalgic for old YouTube? And what do you like most about like the current YouTube beauty landscape? Let me know that down in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and dive in. First, I'm gonna quick go through my repurchases because I've talked about them so much here on the channel. I feel like I don't want to belabor the point, but they're definitely worth mentioning because they're products I think they're worth stocking up on. So first of which is my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara in like the blackest black shade. Stocked up on 2 of those because mine it's not on its last legs, but I just opened the last tube that I had, so just making sure I have a backup supply. And then my CoverGirl Microfine and Define Brow Pencil. One of them didn't come in the packaging though. It looks pretty new to my eye anyway, so I'm gonna keep it and use it, but a little odd that one came with packaging and one didn't. And then the last thing, this might shock you if you've been with me here on the channel for a while. I bought not 1, but 2 cans of the Not Your Mother's Clean Freak Refreshing Dry Shampoo. And it might be a surprise because I have forever loved the Dry Bar Tinted Shampoo for brunettes. Every time Sephora has their VIB sale, I will pick it up there. But recently I was traveling or I didn't have that dry shampoo readily available, and I picked this one up thinking, oh, it's gonna give me a white cast, it's just not gonna work all that well. Like basically all the reasons why I had kind of written off non-tinted dry shampoos and stuck with my Dry Bar. But I was so wrong. I don't know if they changed this formula, if I maybe never tried this. I swear I have, but this is totally different than I remember it. It leaves a little bit of a white cast, but when you rub it into your scalp, totally disappears. Like even if you apply a lot of this stuff, totally disappears on the scalp and really absorbs that excess moisture. Maybe even better than my Dry Bar. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I love it. Like I said, love it so much, I bought 2. So I still have a few extra cans of the Dry Bar, might use that, especially because I do like how I have tape and extensions, and so I do like how it can sometimes cover the tape up there, but I find I can go longer without like between washes by using this stuff over my Dry Bar. So it's more affordable, so win-win. Okay, now let's get into the new stuff. First up are some new Essence palettes, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video because I decluttered a bunch of the old Essence palettes. They just, you know, as far as things that have come out from the drugstore that are just as affordable, they lack the contrast and the pigmentation that I love from a lot of other palettes I have, so they are in the trash. But I saw these new palettes from Essence. One is the Beautiful eyeshadow palette. So they're like less compact than the other ones, but similar to more traditional eyeshadow palettes with like a cardboard casing and stuff. So the Beautiful palette is a classic neutrals palette. I mean, can't go wrong. You got a warm orange crease shade, lots of beautiful shimmery brown tones for across the lid or wherever you want to wear them, other good crease shades, a nice deep, almost black shade down here, like just a very classic neutral eyeshadow palette. And I mean, I just now sticking my finger in here for the first time, have to say I'm much more pleased with this pigmentation. Ooh, like that shimmer. More pleased with this pigmentation and the contrast in colors as compared to that first, or the palettes that I just chucked. I just realized I'm gonna need a makeup wipe. I gotta get back in my old school YouTube ways because I gotta clean off in between hand swatches. So then the next palette that I got from Essence doesn't have contrast, but it doesn't need to because it is pretty unique, especially for this kind of price tier of the drugstore, I think. This is called Never Give Up Your Daydream, pretty cotton candy-esque kind of palette, and looks, I mean, pretty dull and boring. But all of these are supposed to be shifty, iridescent shades. So like there is Whipped, Pistachio, Sunny Days, all those on the, you're gonna have to see these zoomed in because I feel like they're not coming off as much of anything here this far away, but these are all shadows that have really distinct, colorful shifts, and I think they're gonna be great not just for eyeshadows, like to transform your look if you just wanna add a pop of, I mean, you can wear them alone as just a subtle pop of color on the lid, use it to transform your eyeshadow look, but you can also use it as a highlighter, especially after getting a chance to look at them now. All of these are very finely milled. The shimmers aren't chunky at all, so I could totally see wearing these as a facial highlight as well. I am super stoked about this palette. By the way, I do know there's a camp of people out there who hates first impressions, you like full reviews, and I'm the same way, so I totally intend on doing like separate reviews of these videos and giving swatches. Like I don't think I'm gonna give full-blown swatches of all these palettes, just like subtle samplings. But just know they're coming. Like, yes, I'm talking about them here, but I have every intention of doing like a follow-up review video specifically of these palettes. Next up is a brush set from e.l.f. This is their 19-piece Luxe brush set, and I actually think I have or have tried almost every brush in here. Not all of them are still in my collection though, which is why I wanted to get the full set, because lately here on the channel I've been doing like deep dive reviews of as many brushes as I can get my hands on from a given brand. So right now I have one from Real Techniques up, I have one that I just did from Wet n Wild up, reviewing every brush from that collection, and a lot of you guys asked for e.l.f. But I have had so many brushes kicking around in my collection from e.l.f. since the dawn of my time here on YouTube that I don't really even know which goes in what set anymore, so I figure I'd just do a clean start with this. There are a couple others that are available that I plan to purchase, but this was the only one that was available at Ulta, so I picked it up there during the sale. Especially because these sets from e.l.f. are not cheap, and granted the brushes are really nice overall, but this was something like $50 for this whole set, which is easily the most expensive brush set I've now purchased for this brush series, and it's from e.l.f. So when I, found I could get it for 20% off at the Ulta website, I did that. Moving on to, I guess we'll do Nudestix. Let's just cluster them by brands because I kind of did a little bit of a brand focused purchase, and you'll see what I'm saying soon. Next up is Nudestix. I got this is their beach, Nude Beach Festival kit that I saw in Ulta. It's also available on Sephora though, so I'm hoping to get a review up of this soon. Probably not before the Rouge sale starts, but hopefully at some point during the sale get a review and swatches of this up in case you're wanting to purchase, because it is available on the Sephora website. But if you know me, you know I love Nudestix, and I also love buying them in these sets because you get so much more than if you just buy them individually. Like seriously, the pencils in the sets are slightly like a teensy bit smaller than the full-size versions, which normally retail for $22, but in the sets you get, what is this, 2, 4, 6 pencils plus a face thingy, cheek stick, we'll talk about it later, for $75, which seems like a lot, but not with respect to how much product you get and how much the product typically is when you buy them one-off. And then if you have the 20% off coupon, it makes it all that much better. So I got this. I now realize this is such a pain in the butt to swatch because each of these comes individually wrapped, and it's like Fort Knox getting into any of these, so that'll take some time. But As always, they come in this tin with all the shades in the back. You get a sharpening top in there, and then you get 4 magnetic eye crayons. And these look a little bit more dusty mauve-y compared to some of the other shades that I have. I don't think there are any duplicates in here. I'm pretty sure I checked all of them before I purchased the set. Okay, I'm just gonna have to open these up. And this is the first thing I try and do is use tiny scissors. I will hurt myself with those. So then I go with my nails, but they're blunt because they're always press-ons, and it's just like, we're gonna have to resort to teeth soon. And I'm wearing lipstick, which is just, oh, it's so inconvenient. This is actually a Nudestix, by the way. I think it's the shade Royal from their Vixen collection. Ooh, we're making progress. I will say that's gratifying though. Okay, they're all unwrapped. So one of the shades I'm most excited about, of course I can't say, Pink Seychelles? Seashells? I don't know. This is a beautiful, soft, metallic, actually like a mid-tone mauve metallic, I said metallic, shade. Then there is Rustic Grotto, which looks like it's less purpley, less mauve-y, more of a bronzy, but still pretty cool kind of shade. Love that. Then there is a matte shade called Macarooned, which I really like. And their matte shades are really nice overall. The same can be said for the lips, of which there is one intense matte lip color and one gel lip color in here. The matte lip color is this shade Kiss, which is an appropriately mauve-y sort of lip. One of my absolute favorite lip shades, like in the history of ever, is the shade Purity in their intense matte lip and cheek pencil line. I just love the way it looks both on the cheeks and the lips, so I was pretty excited to see there's another one of this formula in here. It's pretty pink though, so it might be less of an everyday color for me, but still very excited to try it. Oh, and that's not even everything you get in this set. You also get a Nudies Matte All Over Bronze color, and this is in the shade Sun-Kissed. Oh, there's a brush on one side. And then on the other side, there is that bronze shade. I think I have a blush that came in a different kit from them, or maybe I ordered it separate to its own. But I haven't really played with it much, so I need to do that. That's a nice bronze color. I mean, it's appropriate for my skin tone. It might be, a little deep for ultra fair and certainly light for medium deep and deep skin tones. But I think it might be a good match for me. It'll definitely make me look sun-kissed. We'll see how it blends out. And then the other thing I ordered from Nudestix was this liquid highlighter that they have. And it's called the Magnetic Nude Glimmers. And the shade I got is 24 Karat Goddess. And this was sold separately from the set, but I really wanted to give it a try. I have one of the highlighters that comes in the stick version from Nudestix, and I really do like that. It's more like a wet look highlight, like a dewy with a little bit of a purpley pink shift to it. Really, really love it. But this one comes in packaging like this, obviously has a doe foot applicator. And so I thought might be interesting to play around with. It might be a little bit easier to pat into products, because the thing with a stick, it doesn't always move product around, but depending on what base you're wearing with it, sometimes it can. So this is certainly a thinner formula, maybe good for wearing like entirely under your makeup. Like I just saw that new Huda Beauty Nymph, I think it's called, which is definitely on my list for the Sephora VIB sale, because I think it launches in the middle of the Rouge dates. At least in general, it launches then. I don't know if it'll be at Sephora then, but I'm certainly keeping my eye out because it looks wonderful. This doesn't look nearly as intense as that, but natural is not always a bad thing. So I'm excited to give this a try. Okay, now onto the final brand. I have a couple products from them too, is Beauty Bakerie. And I swear every time there is a 20% off sale at Ulta, I add all the products I want to my cart, and I just have never taken the leap to buy them, but I've always wanted to. I tried the lip whips, like her very first product ever, before they were even in Ulta, and I really, really liked them. I don't know why it's taken me this long to get them. I think once I get in the mindset that like it's all or nothing and I either need to try all the products that I want to or none at all, that's what really gets me. But I don't know why I finally took the leap. Actually, I think I do know why. Let's get into the products while we're talking about them. So this palette, this Cotton Candy Champagne Blush Lighter palette, Emily Noel recently talked about this, and I took that as a sign. That was my sign that I needed to get this palette. And so here it is. I did not understand that the cotton, there's actually fluffy cotton candy attached to the outside of this, which could be, ooh, a real issue in storage, but for now, super cute. So you open it up and you get all of these shimmery, another thing I didn't realize, they're all very shimmery blushes. This is 24-hour champagne diet. Yes, please. Ooh, so it looks like it's gonna be very intensely, that's this shade right here, intensely berry in the pan, but has a pretty strong shimmery shift to it. Likewise, like no champagne, no gain. Ooh, does anyone want champagne now, right now? That is this shade down here. You can see swatch next to 24-hour champagne diet. Really, really pretty. And then I guess this one looks maybe less shimmery. Nope, still very shimmery, but still very beautiful, is the Stop and Smell the Rosé. And that is this one over here on my hand and this one down here on the palette. All of those are super, super pretty and definitely give you that 2-in-1 highlighted sort of look. Then, because clearly I didn't realize how shimmery that was, I also got the Milk and Honey highlight palette, which gives like this beautiful range. There's Oh Honey, which is this pink tone highlighter, more of a frosty, still kind of warm champagne, and spoiler alert, Be Sweet, which is this beautiful kind of mid-tone and warm, almost coppery highlight, and then Queen Being up there in the corner. Ooh, these are going to be so gorgeous. And Oh Honey actually has, Oh Honey, which is that pinky one, actually looks more of like a golden pink shimmer. Like you can barely see the pink in there. So I think that's going to be really great for people who might be intimidated by colorful highlighter. Does not read this pink at all on the skin so far anyway. Now I also have the Coffee and Cocoa palette, says Better Not Bitter here on the cover, both covers. And this one is not right for my skin tone to wear on my face, but I'm just obsessed with this color palette for the eyes. You have this Vivian La Vida Mocha, which is a terracotta-y, like red toned brown. So gorgeous. All of these are shimmery as well, except Deja Brew looks almost on the matte side, and actually this might be one that I could wear as a facial contour. Might be, that's that one right there, might be a little warm on me, but certainly one worth trying. Anti-Depresso, which is a gorgeous shimmery milk chocolate. These are just so pigmented. I can't get over how pigmented these are, but I'm really excited to use these. And I actually, as I see La Vida Mocha blended out on my finger, I could totally see going in with a lighter hand with this and getting a really bronzy, goldeny orange kind of flush to my cheeks, which I feel like I'm almost kind of verging on now. So I'm gonna play around with this every which way possible because they look so beautiful. And of course, I couldn't walk away without the eyeshadow palette, so I picked that up too. This is the Game of Cones Fury of the Oven. I have no idea if that's a Game of Thrones reference because I have not seen Game of Thrones. But this, I was so excited, especially online. This pop of Periwinkle blue called Dragon Cone looks intense. I mean, oh, it's so beautiful. It has kind of a purpley shift. It's like a periwinkle blue base and then an iridescent purple shift to it. Poppy Seed is one of those like classic brown, kind of a green duochrome, a twist on the normal blue brown and more of a blue or a brown green. Then there is Cakeless Man, which is this bright pink down there. Ooh, that's like a bubblegummy kind of pink. Now I remember why we zoomed in to do the hand swatches, because you can't tell anything back here. But just know, I mean, especially at certain angles, it looks like more of a vibrant pink than at others, and that periwinkle is still just calling my name. I love, love, love these shades, and it seems like there's a really nice and unique like diversity of shadows in this too, like very unexpected shades that deviate from the classic, I mean, kind of like that Essence palette from earlier. Like, yes, it's a good go-to palette, but sometimes you just want to have some fun. One thing to note though, there are no matte tones in here, so it might be more of a complementary eyeshadow palette if you need mattes, and honestly, I do most of the time. But some of these shades might be really pretty just blended out as one and done shadows, especially something like that Poppy Seed where you have that multi-chromatic effect in there. It could just be a one and done kind of eyeshadow. So excited to play around with these. Alrighty, so But that is everything from my Ulta order. What did you guys think of this kind of old school format? I feel like, you know, I couldn't tell much about the products besides my reasoning behind purchasing them and my first impressions of them. Overall, I am very excited. I don't think there's gonna be a dud in this bunch. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, look for reviews on all of these. I'm definitely going to dive into all of them with the intention of reviewing them as soon as possible, especially knowing that like for the Nudestix stuff, that's gonna be in this Sephora VIB sale. So to the extent that you have been wanting to try Nudestix stuff, which I highly recommend you do, I will try and get that video up sooner rather than later. Thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking with me through what I'm sure is a really long video. It means a lot to me, guys, especially if you do like it, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye!